home early last month, that is the 18th of February. Let's cross over and listen in. And we'll give you that live coverage later on. But before that, let's have a look at another live coverage for you that we are having here on KTN News Center, where a section of members of parliament are actually forming a group known as Democracy Without Borders. Let's listen in live.
But I'm not here today to speak to you as a German or a European or as a South African or an African, but I'm here to speak to you as a world citizen. And this is a passport that I do not have, a global passport, a world citizen passport. And world citizenship, this gap, to fill this gap, to promote and build world citizenship, that is the core idea behind this organization, Democracy Without Borders. The core message behind this is that we all, by birth, as in our nature, we belong to one family, one human family, which is humanity. The idea of humanity's unity is such an old one. It can be traced back to Greek philosophy in ancient times. You can trace it back to Confucian philosophy. You can find it in Africa, in Southern Africa, in the concept of Ubuntu that was promoted by Nelson Mandela in his vision of a rainbow nation in South Africa. And this idea of human unity, of Ubuntu, is what we wish to promote as Democracy Without Borders. Mandela said that we need to overcome divisions and accept each other as equal human beings. And this is what global citizenship is about, the equality of us all as global citizens as part of this one human family. So this is not just a philosophy. If you look at it closely, more closely, the idea of global citizenship and of one human family has profound political implications. It's not just a philosophy. It is something that we should strive to implement in the world of politics as well. Article 1 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that was adopted in 1948 by the General Assembly of the United Nations says, and I may quote, I read it to you, "All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience and should act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood." My personal background, I mentioned it, is coming from South Africa and Germany. Both of these countries, historically, have seen the worst crimes ever committed on this planet. In Germany, if I may begin with this, Nazi Germany slaughtered more than 6 million people in poison chambers, in concentration camps. I don't need to tell you about the background of South Africa, the apartheid crime, right? These are two examples which automatically, even if I have not been party in any way, but they...
All right, away from that, and the case of Senior Magistrate Robert Chesang of alleged killing of her lawyer husband, that is Robert Chesang, is currently underway at the Mavoko Law Courts. Let's just cross over and listen in live.
Yeah, she's an inhaler very, very constantly, and she's quite averse to crowded conditions. That is a major factor that I would like you to consider. Her medical documents are still locked in the house, her house. Again, Your Honor, the police have the keys to that house. They have also taken title deeds, which in our submission, even at this very, very early stage, Your Honor, have nothing to do with the case, the title deeds. So, Your Honor, this is a case that is very, very compelling for the accused, for the first respondent to be released on bond. And we undertake, Your Honor, that anytime she's required, anytime, even if she's required 4 times a day, she'll be availed. That's our response. Yes, Your Honor, there is also something that is actually very, very important. Thank you, Kateka, for that. The accused actually has, the first respondent has been a magistrate in many stations, including Kangundo, including Machakos, Undanyi, Kajiado, and Milimani. Your Honor, now she's Nyeri. Usually, and this applies even to police officers who are faced with circumstances like this. There are special circumstances that mitigates against remanding her for any reason, because this is an area in which she has worked and in which she has sent people to jail. It's not just those people that she has sent to jail that are potential problems to her security, even relatives and so on. The list is endless. Your Honor, I agree with you. This is a compelling case where it is requested of you to please release them on bail as they decide whether or not they are charging. That's all, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, the first respondent is a person of interest based on the investigations that are yet to be completed. Whereas it is true that her house here in Athi River has been searched by the police, it still remains a scene of crime and is still cordoned off. Your Honor, the police intend, amongst other things, to carry out a search in her Nyeri home. The phone that Council has talked about is and will be used as an exhibit in this particular matter. However, the title deeds are not in the custody of the police. Your Honor, since the first respondent then is a person of interest in this matter, it therefore follows that the only proper way in which investigations can be complete without the interference of the first respondent or any people associated with her is upon the court granting the prosecution the 9 days that we have requested.
You don't allow me to just point out some detail that this application concerns not just the first respondent, but the other respondents.
Yes, I'm aware.
They have not been given
I'm aware.
Thank you, thank you, sir.
Are you done?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, what you're seeing on your screen right now is the live coverage of the search for justice for the late Robert Chesang, who's a lawyer and was killed on the 18th of February at his home in Lukenya, Machakos County. And let's just continue listening into that live coverage.
Does he have any?
Not as yet.
Okay, not as yet, Mr. Empire. Umeelewa ule prosecutor ameomba? Umeelewa? Unapinga?
Hizo masiku ni mingi. Hizo masiku ni mingi.
Peter, number B.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Your Honor, I assume they are standing in order. This fourth accused
No, they're
person.
not in Peter, one.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
This young man here is asking me to inform the court. My name is Kato Kangoma. That he would like to plead with the court for him to be released on bond. He is a respondent now. The facts being that he has a wife and one kid who is 1 year old. He is the sole breadwinner for his young family. Additionally, he is the son of only one parent. The mother is dead, the father is the one who is alive, but he caters for even his aged father. When he was arrested, his motor vehicle has been detained. When he was arrested, his motor vehicle has been detained by the police. Additionally, he's the one who surrendered himself to the police. He did not wait to be arrested. And additionally, during the time of arrest, he did not resist arrest. He's a young man of 26 years of age who has served in the police force for 2 years. And like my learned friend here indicated, the circumstances that gave rise to these situations are highly regrettable. He pleads with Your Honor at your discretion to have him released on bond. His relatives are around here. They will avail him to court as and when and if he is required. He has cooperated with the police in terms of investigations. He has given them whatever information they have wanted from him. Considering his age, considering his young family and the matters that I have raised, he is a prime example of why a person should be granted bond. He surrendered his passport to the police, so there's no likelihood that he can skip the jurisdiction of this court. So we plead with you, Your Honor, that considering all those issues, he being granted bond. Much obliged, Your Honor.
Wish to respond to that?
Yes. Your Honor, the third accused person is a police constable.
Respondent.
Yes, Your Honor, sorry. The third respondent, Your Honor, is a police constable. Prior to him surrendering himself to the Dagoretti DCI, he was accosted by police officers at Matu while driving a motor vehicle that counsel has talked about. And upon being stopped, Your Honor, by police officers, the third respondent took off, leaving the motor vehicle with the police officer, which was then towed to the DCI Matu. It is still there up to date. It is yet to be handed over to DCI at the river. He had absconded prior to his surrender. He had absconded duties at his rerouter station where he is based. Further, Your Honor, on the date that he escaped, leaving the motor vehicle behind, the respondent, Your Honor, managed to throw away his mobile phone, which, Your Honor, was and still is a critical aspect of these investigations, and the same is yet to be recovered. Your Honor, should the third respondent be released as prayed for by counsel, not only will he fail to cooperate with the police in the investigations based on his earlier position of throwing away the mobile phone and running away from the police, but he is also likely to interfere with the investigations, which are at a very critical stage. We therefore pray for an order to detain him for 9 days to assist in the completion of investigations.
Alex, what?
Yes, Your Honor.
Umeelewa hiyo application imeletwa na prosecutor? Umeelewa? Unapinga? Ile wanasema kwa ufupi ni kwamba wanataka uzuie kwa 9 wakimaliza uchunguzi wao.
All right, that is the live coverage of that court case when it comes to the murder of Robert Chesang, who was murdered last month at his home, and the suspects have been arraigned.